So in this question, I'm going to talk a little bit more in detail about the balance of payment, and we're just going to look at one of the examples, right? So the example that I have here is the US balance of payments. I think this is 2015, and this is the slide that we show in the lecture. So how do we calculate the overall balance of the balance of payments? So when we say the overall balance, this would be this entry here in the balance of payments. Okay. So the overall balance is simply just the cumulative sum of the balance on current account, the balance on the capital account, and the statistical discrepancies. Right. So if you take these three numbers, you add them together, you will get this number over here. Okay. So just a side note, so as we mentioned before in the lecture, whenever you see a positive number here in the balance of payments, that means it's a positive cash flow, okay, into the country, right? So in this case, we're talking about cash flows in and out of the US, okay? So as we can see here, the overall balance for the US in 2015 is minus 6.3 billion. So what does this number mean? This number tells the central bank how much the balance of payment is currently at. And to make the balance of payments balance, the central bank have to step in to ensure that they can meet the discrepancy in the overall balance, right? So in other words, if the overall balance is a negative number, that means there is a cash outflow outside of the country. So what the government needs to do is therefore to ensure that there is a counter cash inflow, right? So in this case, how can they do that? So when you want to have a cash inflow into the economy, what the central bank can do is that they can sell their foreign reserve. So as they sell their foreign reserve, they get their domestic currency back, right? So for example, in this case, if the US central bank decides to sell their foreign reserve, if they decide to, for example, sell their pounds holdings, so as they sell their pounds, as they exchange their pounds for the USD, they will have a cash outflow in the pounds, but at the same time, they will have a cash inflow in the USD, right? Okay, so this is how, so with the overall balance of the balance of payments, this number will inform the central bank of how much money that they need to either acquire or they need to supply into the market to balance the payment, the balance of payment.